Okay, so now we're gonna make our floor slab, so our ground floor slab. So to do that, we're gonna go to architecture, and then you should see floor. There is other options to create structural floors and other types of floor edges in that. For this tutorial, we're not gonna do other than anything but other architectural floors. So if you just click on the button itself, that should default to architectural floor. So a couple of things that comes up here now. So we've got what's called the mode bar now on the toolbar. So basically, it's got a cross and a tick. So what this means is after you've done with the tool, the sketching tool for creating a floor, you have to either confirm that selection, confirm that design, or you have to discard it. Okay, you can't do anything else until you do one or the other. Okay, so you can't go back into any other tool and use the other tool. So if you ever see any of this grayed out, it means that you're still in a tool that needs to be either confirmed or discarded, and or else you can't do anything. Okay. Um, the next bit here, we've got obviously the draw panel. So we've got all the different tools like line, rectangle, arc, circles, and that kind of stuff. We've also got this new tool called Pick Wall Tools. That's probably the best practice tool to use for creating floors, just because it uses the outline of the floors to create this sketch and boundary for your floor. Okay, so it's a lot more accurate, and there's less errors that can come up with that. Okay. So that's obviously the one I'll be using initially. Um, Over here, obviously there's offset. We don't have any offset on this extend into wall core. That I would have that ticked on because that will join the floor into the wall and create a join there for you. So the floor will sit inside the wall. Okay, so now we're ready to actually draw our floor. So on the properties panel, if you check the type selector, you've got two internal and two ground floor slabs, as well as two upper floor slabs. Again, these can be edited and you can create your own ones, which is a slightly more detailed tutorial, which we'll do later on. So for this one, I'm going to pick the ground bearing floor slab. Okay, I'm going to use the pick wall tools, and then I'm going to go around all the four external walls, and then you'll see it's put in a purple line. So that purple line is quite important. Okay, so that purple line has to be a closed loop for any tools that use that purple line. So it has to be closed, so there can't be any gaps. You can't overlap any of the lines, or else there'll be errors that come up. And you can put in holes inside of that as well. So you can actually create other boxes and openings within that, and it will trim those out. Okay, but the key is it has to be a, a clean line throughout. Okay, or else it will flag up an error. It will show you where the gaps are and what errors there are. Okay, that's why the pick wall tool comes in handy, because it's more accurate and there's less likeliness of you not making a clean line. Okay. You can also see here that the line has been put into the wall, so the outer surface of the core, so external surface of the core of that wall. So it will sit on the blockwork by itself. But you can adjust that obviously. So you can, if you want to adjust that, so you can actually move that where you want it. If you want to move, if you want to move any. If you want to move that wall, you can. You can also use these little two arrows to move them inside and outside for if you need to as well. So that's there as well. So it depends on where it goes. Once you've done that, if you want to confirm it, you just tick the green tick, and that's your floor. So if I go to 3D, you should see now you have a floor now. Okay. So it just sits there. Okay. So that's your floor. In order to go back, if you ever need to adjust the floor, if you go to ground floor, a quick way of adjusting the floor is if you go down here and select elements by face, tick that on, and then if you click on the floor, it'll select that floor. Now you can actually go in and click on edit type, and that'll take you back into the editor. Okay, so if you ever want to change any of the boundary edges, if you want to change the outline of the floor, anything like that, you can go back in and change it manually afterwards. Again, you have to tick to finish, and then make sure that you turn that off again, so that at least then you go back to selecting elements rather than faces itself.